What started off as a few drops of rain has now turned into continuous rains. If the forecast is correct, then tomorrow should be dry. And they say that this rain is going to last about 30-40 minutes. The 3 days between Oriolo and Marari were wet, very wet. I don't think that I had the best experience of the beauty of the hike, but even in the rain and the winds, the majesty of the landscape was apparent. Day 3 took me to Brisighella, mentioned in Dante, scholars believe, with reference to false advisors and the coat of arms of Maginardo Pagani, a blue lion on a white field. The clock tower in Brisighella is now found where his fortress once stood. After another day of increasing wind and rain, I arrived in Carimelanca, a bivouac built and managed by the Associazione Nazionale Partigiani d'Italia, close to the museum recounting the story of the tragic events of October 1944 and the resistance of the 36th Garibaldi Brigade against the German forces. Day 5 took me to Marari. This was a day of wind, rain, rainbows, and undoubted beauty. But I was glad to arrive and see the rain depart, the clouds retreat, and the wind finally abate. I've just left the church at Oriolo, and today we're heading to a place called Brisighella, where I'll be staying in another religious location. This time it's a friary that was abandoned and has been taken over by the local community. So I'll be staying in one of the old monks' cells there. It's not too difficult today, it's about 17-ish kilometres. Few hills, but we spend quite a lot of the time on asphalt and bobbing around at around 200 metres or so above sea level, obviously. So let's get going and see what today brings, apart from the rain. We're on to road walking for a little bit now. It's been mostly through agricultural fields, actually, walking along the edge and the boundaries of fields. The rain is sort of not quite holding off, so there's enough of it to warrant the waterproof, but not quite enough to really make it necessary. But I don't want to be sort of taking it on, taking it off, and running the risk of getting caught in a shower. Very occasionally it'll get a little bit heavier. That is actually starting to rain now. It was shortly after this that the heavens opened. My electronics were packed away, and the long and challenging slog through clay and mud began. There was no more video recorded on the hike that day. And good morning on day 4 of the Cammino di Dante. I nearly said the wrong name there. So yesterday was a complete washout. I'm absolutely covered in mud still. After falling for the second time on basically clay on slopes, I decided to sort of cut the sort of stupidity out and sort of walk down to the actual road, and then came into Brizigella on the road. I was told that that was probably a very wise thing to do. I've also been told that there is more mud today of the same type. It's a very, very heavy clay. Once you get anything stuck onto your boots, it's impossible to have any kind of grip. But it's at the beginning, and then basically that's it for the rest of the day. So we're ascending about 800 meters over the day, and I'll be spending the night in what in Italian is called a bivacco. So basically a small hut that just has 4 beds, but that is beds without mattresses or anything. There's nothing else there. So let's get going. Let's get going up, and let's see how we go. So I've got a little break in the rain. I'm probably 1.5 kilometers from the bivacco, the little sort of hut that I'm going to stay in. I have to say, this is the tough walk, and with the rain, it's doubly tough. I took a picture, which I'll put into the video, of what the clay, the underlying clay here, does to your shoes. So you can see what I've been struggling with for kilometre after kilometre in the rain. It's been pretty tough. But if the forecast is correct, then tomorrow should be dry. But I'll have a quick check when I get to the hut and give you an update there. Finally the rain has stopped and the sun has come out, but it's absolutely freezing and it's blowing a gale up here. So I'm the only one here at the moment. I'm not sure that anyone else is walking the route. I'll show you the view. It is fantastic. A little bit about yesterday and today. So Brisighella is famous for clay. It was actually mentioned even by Leonardo da Vinci as being clay that was good for making cups. It's a very thick, heavy blue clay, and when I was walking, quite a lot of the sort of area before you come into Brisighella itself is actually a series of clay cliffs, and I actually slipped a couple of times, once going completely over. So I decided that what I would do was actually walk down to the road and then continue into Brisighella on the road. So that actually took me a little bit longer than planned, but it was probably the safest thing to do. The rain yesterday was horrendous. People in the coffee shop this morning were talking about a diluvio, so a deluge. It was just terrible rain, and obviously my little Pocket 2 doesn't do very well in the rain, so there's no videos from yesterday, or virtually no video from yesterday. Today I set off, and by about the third kilometre the heavens opened again and it continued to rain for most of the rest of the day. A lot of the path was okay, but there was a section about 3 kilometres where we were back onto the clay, and I was literally at one point coming down on hands and knees, basically trying to sort of not slip and slide again at the edge of probably a sort of 40-50 metre drop this time. And I actually walked past 2 sections where the road had been completely washed out. I'll put a photo in the video for that. I took a picture of the worst of those, and a couple of places on the path where there had been landslides as well, which we were told about that before I set off on the walk. The rain stopped towards the end of today's hike, but it's absolutely perishingly cold at the moment, and it's super, super windy. Obviously this little shelter there's no heating, but it's very, very welcome. Tomorrow's not a particularly long walk, but I will be spending tomorrow night in a tent, so let's see. Good morning on day 5 of the Cammino di Dante. It's raining. Just check the forecast. I've not got very good signal here, but I've got just enough to be able to check. And they say that this rain is going to last about 30-40 minutes, and it's just about 7:30 now. So I'm probably going to hang around here a little bit longer. It's dry and warmer. It's a bit chilly outside as well. It's about 6 degrees, plus the wind and the rain, obviously. So I'm going to hang out here for a little bit longer. Today's walk is only about 16 kilometres, and it's not supposed to be that challenging. So probably be arriving in Maradi at about between 2 and 3 if I take it nice and easily, but we'll see. So the forecast said rain showers in the morning, clearing up by lunchtime, and then some clouds in the afternoon. So hopefully we'll be able to do some more video, but we'll see. So if you can see this little section here, the path has been completely taken out by a landslide. Probably 10 meters max, but I just had to go all the way around up to the left and then come back down here to the side of this tree. Took about 3 or 4 minutes actually just to do that little section. This is why this is a path to take seriously, especially in weather like this. This is why I'm still holding out a little bit of hope for this afternoon. We've got a bit of a break in the rain. There's more coming, I can see it. But they did say that around lunchtime we should start getting a mix of clouds and sun, and that does seem to be happening. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the videos. Please do like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow.